Mr. Flappy.
Mr. Flappy, Flappy.
Mr. Flappy Sports Channel. Mr. Flappy.
Mr. Flappy, Flappy Sports Channel. Mr. Flappy, Flappy Sports Channel for Mr. Flappy.
January 5th, 2010. As stated in my introduction to Mr. Flappy Sports Channel, I'll be making random picks and ranking them in my degree of confidence, with 5 stars meaning a sure thing and 1 star being a cautionary pick. I'll also be keeping track of the picks in order for the viewer to achieve a better understanding of my knowledge of sports, in order for the Mr. Flappy viewer to be more comfortable in confiding in Mr. Flappy. I shall stay away from teasers and parlays and make straight picks in order for the viewer to create parlays and use teasers according to themselves. I will tend to stay within topics that I know of, like the 3 major sports, as I am still learning about hockey, boxing, golf, NASCAR, and the like. Expect Mr. Flappy Sports Bets to expand into those sports in the near future. Without further ado, here are my picks for the day. My first pick is a 4-star pick, Chicago Bulls covering the spread of +6. Bulls go on the road to Charlotte to play the Bobcats. Even with a dismal road record, Bulls are a 4-star pick. I can't see the Bulls losing by more than 5 points, even though the Bobcats are fresh off of road victories over the Cavs and Heat. With Chandler out, expect the Bulls to play a faster game in order to exploit Jop and Muhammad. If it's an up-tempo type of game, then I'm dead on with my 4-star rating, as the Bulls have the upper hand with Derrick Rose leading the charge. Expect big games from Steven Jackson and Raymond Felton as the Bobcats try to combat a smaller Bulls lineup. Chicago has a high possibility of winning this game as the Bulls strive to enter the All-Star break on a high note, and this can be one of those games that starts a string of consecutive strong performances. My second pick is a 5-star pick, Milwaukee Bucks covering the spread of -1.5. The spread seems good enough alone to make this pick a 5-star pick. The Nets have been struggling all year as Yee has been injured. All of the Nets' losses have been blowout defeats, although I don't expect this one to be one of them. If Skiles pulls the same type of move he did last week against the Bobcats, of the benching of Red and Bogut, then this pick would warrant me to deduct the rating to 3 stars. However, that being more of an outlier than a variable, I stand firm on my 5-star analysis. Lopez is going to be challenged by Bogut, as the 7-footers will be doing battle for the boards, with Bogut going to have more of an opportunity for offensive boards, with Red, Bell, and Ridnour manning the backcourt. The unknown Urson and Yee doing battle with one another should make up for an interesting big man showcase. Expect a slower paced game and the Bucks to come out on top. My third pick is a 2-star pick, the Detroit Pistons +8.5 over the Dallas Mavericks covering the spread. Last time these teams played, the Pistons only lost by 5, and they were without their star players Rip Hamilton and Tayshaun Prince, making this a 2-star pick. Mavs were also without Josh Howard, even though I don't expect the Pistons to win. I don't see them losing by more than 8.5, more like 5 or 6, much like the last time. If Rip has another poor performance against the Mavs like he did on Tuesday night, then Vegas is right by saying they're 8.5-point underdogs. Howard and Terry provide the Mavs some fresh legs off the bench, 2 players that with the talent and ability to start on an everyday basis. This matchup has a high possibility of working either way for the sports enthusiasts, as there are a lot of variables and fresh pieces to the matchup that make this pick a swing pick. For instance, Jorge Juan Barria is now starting, and Josh Howard is back for the Mavs with the already talked about returns of Rip and Prince. These variables cause for the possibility of the pick of the Pistons covering the spread a swing pick. Mavs usually bounce back from blowout losses, and with the Mavs at home, I expect them to win, but not by 8.5. My last pick is a 3-star moneyline pick, Philadelphia 76ers over Washington Wizards. I feel as though the Sixers have one of the most underrated teams in the league, but the record not doing them justice as of late, making this moneyline pick of the Sixers over the Wizards a 3-star pick. Seems as though bringing back Alvin Iverson is a good idea, as the Sixers are are a more complete team with both AIs starting to gel together once again. The team has to find their identity, though, in order to succeed. And once they do so, the team should be back within 500 halfway through the second half of the season and in contention for the 8th or 7th seed. With Brand, Capono, and Green coming off the bench, and Thaddeus Young and Lewis Williams still maturing, sports enthusiasts should exploit the 76ers' underrated value all year long. The Wizards are currently suffering from off-court distractions, with the Gilbert Arenas drama making for big headlines in all sorts of news outlets, and with Butler also in the NBA rumor mill with talks of him going to the Heat. With the disappointed play of Randy Foye and Stevenson and the lack of prominent bench players, I expect the 76ers to beat the Wizards. Some bets to stay away from today are Denver or Golden State with Melo and Chauncey injured, Portland, Memphis due to the fact that Portland has many injuries, and Phoenix, Sacramento since Phoenix needs some time to gel before being confident in them. The NFL playoff picks I'm currently researching include the Bengals with the money line, Ravens with the points, and the Eagles with the money line. Expect a slew of NFL playoff picks later in the week. That wraps up my first Mr. Flappy Sports Bets video. Be sure to be on the lookout for future news within the world of sports, as well as my pregame coverage and bets of the NFL wildcard weekend. Until next round, this is Mr. Flappy taking a full time out.